Hi, on this video we're going to see how to play different voicings. Now a voicing is just the terminology they use when they say, well, please don't play C like this, play it a different way. For example, I can play C there, I can play C over here. Those are all different ways of playing the chord C, and we call those different chord voicings. So voicing is just a collective name, if you want to call that, different way to play the same thing. Okay, of course it will give you a slightly different sound, but in essence still C major chord. Now where this comes in handy, say for example you're playing a song with some mates and your friend's going C to G to A minor to F. You can say, well, that sounds pretty cool, but I want to play something difficult, or something different rather, perhaps is a better terminology, something different that complements what he's doing. So I'm going to play my C here, I want to go to G over here, A minor over here, and F over here, and later from there I can put my scale in. And it's the same chords with the scale, which we'll elaborate later. The goal of this video is to show you how to get those different shapes, those different voicings. So you need to have your PDF file printed out in front of you. If you don't have it, quickly pause the video and then print it out, come back to the video and resume. So I'm going to assume that you got the PDF. And we're going to look at the row where you've got, says, using the D string as root. Now that is in purple. I've color coded it, so hopefully you printed it in color. Okay, but it says using the D string as root note, and you'll see it says first of all a major shape, and it's got a minor shape, and then the third one in a row is going to be a diagram of the guitar neck. Now let's first start off with the chord F, okay, and then we'll tie it in with the PDF. Now F looks like this: first finger, second finger, third finger. I'm sure you're familiar with F. Okay, now the reason why this is F is because the combination of the individual notes make up the chord F. I'm not going to go into that theory, trust me on that for now. But this note here that I'm tapping, I'm going to play it for you as well. That note is F, and that combined with those notes give me the chord F major. Now, the title of this is called movable chords, right? So I'm going to move it. So if I move this from here, 1, 2 frets up, my ring finger now is on the 5th fret, and if you look at that chord neck diagram, fret 5 says G. I'm assuming you've got that. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide all the chords in two. So you're going to have first of all your shape, that's the shape, still the same shape, still the same shape, and then where do I play the shape? In other words, from which fret is this finger that I'm tapping? If I play it from fret number 7 like this, that's the note A, so it's A plus the major shape, A major. Okay, and you can hear it's the same. G was over here by fret number 5. You can hear the chords are the same there, different voicings. Okay, now let's say we need to play a chord like C minor. Now we know C major would look like that because we've learned now that the note C, for example, is at fret number 10 in the purple diagram, and this is the 10th fret number you're tapping, so this note over here is C, and then my major shape, so I've got C major, but we need a C minor. So if you look at the chord diagram, this is the major, the minor does this, loses the middle finger, major, minor. Happy sound, positive sound, sadder sound, more sort of deeper sound. There's just this one finger that's lifting. So that one note separates the major to a minor. And that's your minor shape. Okay, now what about flats and sharps, all those crazy things? One of the common chords you're going to use quite a bit, for example, will probably be F sharp minor, especially if you're playing in the key of A and key of E. So if I look for F sharp, it's at fret number 5, that's F with a hash mark, and that's F sharp over here, and you play the minor shape, okay, which is the first finger going across 3 strings and my minor shape. There we go. Okay, so basically what you've learned so far is you've learned that there's a major shape, you've learned there's a minor shape, and we've learned that from wherever we play it. If I play it from there, that's B flat. I've got B flat major. If I play it from here, that's B flat minor. We got this. If you're not sure, drop me a WhatsApp because it's imperative. It's really important you understand this. Okay, so I'm going to assume that you're happy so far. We're now going to go to the next column, the one that's in red, not column, sorry, next row, okay, the red row, and it says using the G3 string as the root note. Okay, now that's a basic A chord. You recognize A, I'm sure you're familiar with that. There's A, the middle finger, I'm tapping over here. That's playing the note. That's A, third string. You see I'm playing the third string. Okay. So whatever that note is, that's in red, it becomes that note plus the major shape. Got that? New major shape, root note on the third string, got your new chord, and that's why this is A. Now we're going to sort of shortcut it. I'm going to say, well, I don't want to use 3 fingers, I'm going to use just 1 finger, because I'm only going to play those 3 strings. I'm not playing the bottom string, so it's not an issue. So this is my new A. And that's quite cool, because if I use 1 finger, I can go from my A into my scale. And I can start doing sort of little extra embellishments. So your technique, the finger allocation is really, really important. Okay, now onto the moving of the chords, because the whole video is about moving chord shapes. That's A. Let's say you need C again. Okay, so if you look on the red chord diagram now, you'll see that C is in fret number, and I'm sure you're saying 5. Okay, so if I go to there, that's C. And you can hear normal C, new C. Okay, let's say we need to now play an E flat major, so looking for E flat. It's at fret number 8, so I go all the way to the 8th fret. There's my E flat. So again, I've got the major shape. Remember, only playing strings 4, 3, and 2 for this one. And wherever you play it from, it becomes that chord based on what the diagram of the guitar neck dictates. In other words, if I'm in fret number 3, where I am now, for example, put an overview, 3rd fret, that says B flat or A sharp. Those of you that know the sharps and flats, A sharp and B flat are the same. I'm not going to go into that now. If you need something specific on this, drop me a WhatsApp. Okay, but that is B flat. Okay, simple as that. Now we need some minors using the red. Now we can actually sort of, I've got this shape as this. You can sort of summarize it to just this if you want to, if you only play strings 4, 3, and 2. So you can do this shape, and that would also be C minor, just for by the way, or I can do this, because whatever note that one's on becomes that minor. C. Okay. C minor. So again, major shape, minor shape, and you can hear the note is changing. There it is. Major, minor, and you can see maybe from a different angle, minor, major. So it's always that one note. It's the 3rd note being flattened for those that know music theory. If you don't know music theory, don't worry about it yet. We'll cover that in other videos. The purpose here and goal is, like we said, is to learn the shapes. Okay. And then lastly up, we've got the green one where it says the B2 string as a root. Now for those of you that know your power chords quite well, in other words, if you're doing your sort of like, for example, we're normally working from your A or your E string most of the time. These ones over here are not using power chords, they're using what they call triads, which is why you've got majors and minors. And we're also using the other strings, so you're learning the notes on your 4th string, that's the purple, notes on the 3rd string, it's your red, and the notes on your B string, which is the green. So we need to get to know the names of the notes. Very, very important. Okay. Let's say now we're looking at a F chord, because we mentioned F earlier. You'll find F on the green at fret number 6. And this time you'll see the color note in is on the 2nd string. And you do this and that. And that is actually F major. You can bring in the next string as well. This this is quite nice because it gets a nice little funky sort of vibe as well. And you can hear normal F, new F, okay. And again, it's movable. So if you want to, so for example, play an A using the shape, A is at fret number 10. Remember, we're working with the green. We must keep the color coding, very important. Fret number 10, play the shape. So just make sure that the highlighted note for any of them is on the corresponding note name for the chord type you're looking at. And again, if you want minor, for example, say for example we need a F minor, you can look at, say for example, F minor would be here normally, D minor, E minor, F minor, so they're expanding it to this. Now I actually like just doing that. There's F, and this is my other way of playing the minor chords. It's a slightly different way of doing it. A bit of angle there, there we go. You can do it like this, because I find this is a bit of a busy chord. And it also looks a lot like the major 7th chord now, but we're not going to go into that now. The same as that looks like the minor 7th chord when you're playing the other strings. So what we're going to learn later videos, don't go there too much right now, is that your basic majors and minor shapes that you'll be dealing with will be found in bigger chords. But let's not go there. Okay, so you've learned now, so far, you've learned 3 different ways to play a major. So for example, you can play F over here, you can play F over here, you can play F over here. If you want to play A minor, for example, normal A minor, and you can play the A minor over here. You can also play it all the way up here if you want to. Okay, so there's a whole lot of different ways to do it. Now to finish off, we're going to take, for example, just break down to show you how nice this is. We're going to take a typical A minor F C G, which is another common sequence. A very popular chord progression. The one song springs to mind is an Eagle Eye Cherry song, Save Tonight. That's based on the same progression, A minor, F, C, G. I think they use a different key, can't remember. But check this out, there's my new A minor. There's my new F. One finger changed it. A minor, F, C, nice and simple. And it's my G. Okay, so I've got different ways to do it now. So you've got combinations, you've got choices. And let's say, for example, now you need to play in the band and the guy says, hold on a minute, this progression's a bit too low, can we play it out of B minor? So that means A minor becomes B minor, F will become G, C becomes D, and G becomes A. It's a whole mathematical progress. Don't have to worry about it. All we do is take this over here, we just did, and you start higher. You're going to go. Move everything 2 frets up. So your key changing, your transpositions comes easier. Want to play it out of something obscure like a B flat? Not a hassle. Be G minor this time. Says works quite nicely. And you want to add a scale, just using 1 octave of your natural minor, for example. We're just using this spot here, part of it. And you can have a lot of fun just adding your scales to your chords, but that we're going to go into more depth later as we progress more to the scale side. So your goal over here, your goal was to learn 3 different ways to play the basic chords, and that's what this page has given you. Okay, so test it. There's no wrong or right, or they're all right ways to do it. Okay, there's no wrong way to which one you choose. Choose the one that you think suits the song best. So in other words, do I want to play my A minor over here? Do you want to play it there? Do you want to play it here? Do you want to play my F here? Do you want to play my G there? Or do you want to do it there? I've got choices, and that's cool because now we can be creative, and that's what music is all about. We can either copy it like the sheet music, which is very good because when we learn things, we learn what the other people do, so that's cool. But we also learn how to change and get creative and compose or make variations from what we've already learned. I hope you enjoyed the video. If there's any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. I'd like you to have a clear understanding with this. Get to know the names of the notes on the guitar neck. And that's us for this week. I hope you have an awesome week and take care. Cheers.